Good afternoon and welcome. Welcome to We Believe Digital Studios in downtown Jackson, Mississippi. We're so glad you're joining us for our twice weekly news break show. We Believe Digital News Break is Wednesdays and Fridays from 12 noon to 12:30. We have a call-in line, 1-800-492-5186, or you can jump into the chat. We'd love to have you. Hope you like the news that the news product that we're sharing with you, and hope you'll like it and share the subscribe to We Believe Digital and share that with your friends, and we'd love to have you view us on YouTube if at all possible. We're also available on Facebook and on WeBelieveDigital.com, but if you can, please view the We Believe programs on YouTube, and that could help us out quite a lot. So here we are in Jackson with 87 degrees today, clear skies, heading to 91 degrees, starting to show signs of getting a little bit cooler down here, finally, after two long hot months. We'll start out at the local level. Some stories from our friends at WLBT. Bank Plus is up in Pickens, is indicating that they're going to shut down. Now, Pickens just a 40-minute drive from downtown Jackson. It's scheduled to close on December 15th. This Bank Plus is the only bank that serves those folks. Residents say if that happens, they'll have to travel more than 20 miles to the next nearest bank. So yesterday they packed the MLK Center up there. They had a rally voicing their concerns about why they feel the bank should not close. One gentleman said he got 3 business accounts. If the bank leaves, I'm going to have to transfer my money all the way to Durant or Canton, and that's going to cause a lot of hardship for me. The mayor, Paulette Moore, said the Board of Aldermen are now calling on Congressman Benny Thompson to authorize a resolution to stop the bank from closing. She said he is currently coming up with a plan. And, Bank Plus is saying that particular bank generates about $4 million a year, and they need it. I guess their metrics or how they do business, they say they need that to be earning $40 million a year, not $4 million a year. So we'll see how that transpires. Jackson City leaders hoping to repave some 31 neighborhood streets before winter hits. How about that? So on Tuesday, the council approved a nearly $5.1 million contract with Dickerson and Bowen for the first phase of the neighborhood repaving program. You get a complete list of these 31 streets and neighborhoods on WLBT.com. There's going to be a multi-phased paving project. This is the first one, the low-hanging fruit that can put together to get paving done in the fall before the winter hits, according to the acting Public Works Director, a guy by the name of Robert Lee. There'll be additional phases and additional construction contracts issued in the spring. So they say they're working together. Now, interesting, the City Council approved the measure on a unanimous vote. How about that? No fight amongst themselves. However, as soon as the vote was made, they went to the cameras to say that some council members are concerned that they weren't consulted in the process. Apparently, the city took Homeowners Association reports that they had received, used that to make the decision. So once again, and that there was no input from council members. So that's kind of sad. It would seem to me that the council members would have a running list out there in front of the mayor all the time, every day of the year. These are our highest priorities for my ward. So I'm not sure that when they say they don't have any input, I'm not sure I really grasp all that. So, but they did approve it. So however disgruntled they may be, they all went with it to approve it. Next story on the local level, really important story about Jackson Water, sending customers a letter trying to get the message out that shutoffs for non-payment will begin in the fall. We've been through so much with this water crisis, and the ball is moving in the right direction now, getting things fixed. Here's a quote from the interim third-party manager, Ted Hennepin. To keep things flowing, don't you love that? To keep things flowing, we need money to run the system, make needed repairs, and replace things before they break. That should come from water bill payments. It's not happening. An exact date for the shutoffs would begin was not included in the letter. But according to the document that Hennepin sent out, 6 out of every 10 customers, fewer than 6 out of every 10 customers are actually paying their water bill. So heads up, that's coming down the road. We need to be on top of that. And phone payments can be made using the phone number 1-877-578-2490. Say that again, Jackson Water customer service line, 877-578-2490. And you can pay with the debit card or e-check, and then there's multiple free locations across the city. Also, a self-serve portal can be dialed up to get more information about the financial aspects. 601-500-5200, their call center. 601-500-5200. We got to in order to get things flowing, we need to get the money flowing, the man says. So how about that? Okay, another story about the Hinds County Democratic primary. You know, we just heard yesterday that the Hinds County hack of their computer system has been fixed. And boy, there were lines yesterday morning. I heard Eddie Fair saying on the radio, that the tax collector, that they cut the line in half in about 30 or 35 minutes. But that's been since the 7th of September until yesterday. There was, so essentially 20 days, 19, 20, 21 days, something like that. The Hinds County offices have been closed. They're back up and running now. And David Archie, Hinds County Democratic District 2 Supervisor David Archie, his fight over the legitimacy of the Hinds County primary results is proceeding. They were in court yesterday. And he's asking for more time because he said the attorney he brought on wasn't until last night. So the judge granted his request for a little bit more time. Meanwhile, time is of the essence because the November election is just weeks away. Much of Tuesday's courtroom discussion revolved around the subject matter of jurisdiction, whether the judge even has the authority to make a decision about this. So, you know, David Archie is contesting the vote. I want to say 1,600 vote loss that he suffered to Anthony Tony Smith, and he just said that's just not possible. Not sure how people feel about that, but anyway, so he's not going to go quietly, and he's fighting this in court. We'll see what success he has in that. Next story, Dr. Elaine Hayes Anthony, the acting president of JSU, was appointed president of the Mississippi Association of Broadcasters. She'll replace a guy named Derek Rogers. She's a native and former dean of JSU School of Journalism, which, you know, We Believe Digital loves that JSU School of Journalism, and the chair of the Department of Journalism and Media Studies. They received national accreditation under her leadership. She's a former tenured full professor at Belhaven, currently tenured full professor at JSU, served on 15 different accreditation teams. She's been the vice president of the Mississippi Association Broadcasters for some time now, had been appointed by Governor Haley Barbour and then Governor Phil Bryant to the State Department of Health, where she serves on an audit committee, certificate of need committee, and communications committee. So we wish Dr. Anthony well in her new role as the president of the Mississippi Association of Broadcasters. Sound like a ideal fit for her to be in that role. Okay, JPD, Jackson police officers, soon have new in-car cameras and body-worn cameras. How about that? On Tuesday, Jackson City Council approved a financing plan with Huntington Finance to lease the devices, which will allow the city to pay for them over the next 3 years. Agreement approved unanimously by the council. They're going to pay about $1.226 million for these devices. The purchase includes 131 in-car cameras, which cost about $3,700 a piece, $3,800 a piece, and 270 digital camcorders that cost about $117 each. The contract also comes with docking station, camera mounts, and equipment warranties. So newly installed Jackson Police Chief Joseph Wade says when he met with the rank and file officers, they talked about having resources to do the job. So this is how he looks at this. This is another step for us moving forward technology-wise to give our officers the resources and tools they need to do their job. So there you have it for the Jackson level. We got about 3 minutes to go on this first segment of our Newsbreak show, and we have to tell you every time we come on the air that today is just another day when the Republican legislators in our state have refused to hold any kind of a hearing on the welfare scandal, the biggest fraud in the history of the state of Mississippi, upwards of $100 million being pilfered under Republican administration, Republican appointees. There's all kinds of information where Governor Phil Bryant was kind of overseeing this to some degree. It appears from the writing and the text messages, he was deep in it. And the same thing with the current governor, the incumbent governor, Tate Reeves. The whole thing with the fitness centers, 1.3 million, texts going back and forth about the governor talking to Brett Favre and all this stuff. So just a sad state of affairs, but they want to let the legal process take over and keep their mouths shut about everything and not be transparent with their constituents, the people that voted for this Republican administration and this Republican legislators. So a sad day. You do the dirty deed and then you keep your mouth shut, don't say nothing about it, but the whole time you're on a state payroll. You're getting paid by the citizens to do a job, and included in that job, not all of them, of course, but some of them, that didn't happen with just 2 or 3 people involved. They keeping their mouth shut, and they're not serving our state. They're not. That's not honorable behavior. If people make mistakes, people do wrong things, you hold them accountable, but put it out in the light of day. Don't be hiding it underneath the couch. Next story from Mississippi Today. In 2014, so 9 years ago, Sheriff Brian Bailey, Rankin County, Mississippi sheriff, made a series of routine requests to the local district attorney. He needed grand jury subpoenas to force the phone company to turn over records of calls and texts of what he told them was a confidential internal investigation. So he used the legal apparatus, the taxpayers' money, to get phone taps. Now guess who he was getting them on? His girlfriend. He was using the resources of the county to tap his girlfriend phone, who was stepping out on him, and also a school department employee, and she was apparently, the lady was seeing him also. She a very busy lady, and also, and I think he's married too. I'm not positive on that, but it just possible wrongdoing of a school district employee. Well, the school district attorney employee was seeing Bailey's girlfriend. So sad comment. They call Mississippi the hospitality state. Lying and cheating and stealing going on up in here. So anyway, it's a sad commentary, and they did investigation. Michael Guest, who was the district attorney over there, found out about this, and then he became the congressman, and so he said a conflict of interest. But remember, Sheriff Bailey and his department have been under national scrutiny and a federal civil rights investigation since his goon squad, 5 deputies and a local police officer, and you know that's just not the whole goon squad, that's just the ones that got caught, pleaded guilty this year to torturing 2 black men and shooting one of them in the mouth. Rankin County, man. So we're going to dip out now for a couple of commercials. We'll be right back with you.
The Mississippi Link is an African-American female-owned newspaper with a trusted voice that is highly respected throughout the city, state, and nation. Our motto, keepers of the knowledge for people who speak the truth, since 1993. Significantly influences the thoughts, attitudes, and buying decisions of its readers. Call us at 601-368-8481 for your advertising needs. If you would like to receive a newspaper in the mail each week, our annual subscription is only $52 per year. That is only $1 per week for you to stay informed regarding many stories that you can only get in the Mississippi Link. Sign up today at themississippilink.com and click on Home Delivery.
Are you dreaming of becoming an entrepreneur, but you're not sure where or how to start? At Entrepreneurs Academy 101, our online program will guide you step by step on how to start and grow your own business. We offer courses such as how to write a business plan, how to create a budget, and so much more. Our online training program is designed for you to learn at your own pace, and there's no set order to complete this program. Because our academy is online, you have the choice to learn with a group, with friends, or individually. Upon completion of the entire curriculum, you will receive a certificate of achievement to acknowledge that you have completed the training needed to become a successful entrepreneur. So enroll today to design the life that you love. Contact your entrepreneur coach, Brenda Myers, at 601-672-0695 or visit our website at www.entrepreneursacademy101.com for more information.
And welcome back to We Believe Digital Studios for our twice weekly news break show. Glad to have you with us. We're talking on the state level for news stories, and we have to mention this issue with Mississippi with no state in the contiguous United States has more rainfall than Mississippi over the last 5 years. However, even the wettest parts of the country are seeing their crops dry up due to unrelenting drought. So in Mississippi, a variety of plants from cotton to soybean to peanuts taking a big hit. Livestock farmers faced with dried up pastures, either having to sell their cattle or feed them. So much stuff going on. A quote here from Shelby Bearden, Mississippi State University Extension Agency for Copiah County. Normally we don't start feeding hay to cattle until November, but without the grass, they've already had to switch over to doing that. So much going on with this drought. Desperately need rain in the area. We reported to you last Friday about the dangerously low levels in the Mississippi River. The Corps of Engineers is dumping some ungodly amount of water into the river to prevent the salt water from the Gulf from making its way back up the river. The levels are so low. So all that's going on for you to be aware of, and maybe say a little prayer for these farmers. And does anybody know a real live rain dance that will work? So hearing Governor Tate Reeves talk on the re-election trail, and this from Mississippi Today, one would think that during COVID he was a champion of individual business freedom and that Mississippi never locked down or suffered restrictions that other states saw. Well, come to find out, the people over there at Mississippi Today that say that's a little bit of revisionist history on the part of the governor, and they point out the many different orders restricting or directing what Mississippians and business could do that happened. How they say it happened in a piecemeal way, in a confusing way. He did close non-essential businesses at different times and ordered mask wearing at different times. But he would want people to believe that he was the savior that kept Mississippi open, et cetera, et cetera. U.S. Department of Education has placed Mississippi's public university system, the institutions of higher learning, under a form of oversight that restricts the flow of federal financial aid dollars and hinders creation of new academic programs, according to a letter obtained by Mississippi Today newspaper. So the bottom line is they had a 75-day deadline to get their audits turned in. They failed to do that for the fiscal year 2022. Other things went on too, and so they're being monitored now by the feds, and that's going to restrict the flow of cash until they get their act together. So this board of the institutions of higher learning that rides herd over all the publicly funded institutions, they got to hold people more accountable and do things on time, because this is going to hurt us. There are 6 other universities in Mississippi that are under heightened cash monitoring as of June 2023. That includes Belhaven, Coahoma Community College, and Traxler School of Hair, a for-profit college in Jackson. Another story, up in Clarksdale, students applaud and cried and jump with excitement with news Mississippi's first charter high school was approved Monday afternoon. How come I don't jump for joy when I hear news about stuff like that? So they're all excited. The first charter school high school in Mississippi, going to be Clarksdale Collegiate Prep. Has approved to be open in the fall of 2025. So they're going to expand on Clarksdale Public K through 8 public school already operational in the school district. People have a lot to say about all that stuff. There's an awful lot of people that really want charter schools. And are advocates for parents being able to choose where they send their children and have those tax dollars go with them. Sadly, though, the charter schools are often used to segregate people and take advantage of, take money out of public school districts and put it into those charter schools. And I heard from a person in the know not too long ago, I need to follow up on it, but once those dollars accompany that student to the charter school, even if that student come back to the public school a year later, which we have examples of, the money don't come back with them. So you see what I'm talking about. So that's that for the charter schools. New charter high school in Clarksdale. Shifting on to the national news, record-breaking NASA astronaut Frank Rubio returned to Earth, feeling the pull of the planet's gravity for the first time in more than a year. He was up there for a full calendar year. Rubio and 2 Russian colleagues parachuted to a landing in Kazakhstan, aboard a Russian Soyuz MS-23 capsule today, but that would be early morning, and the crew's arrival marked the end of a long and unexpected journey. He had been expected to only spend 6 months. Instead, he logged a total of 371 days, and they gotta take them out of the capsule and put them on a stretcher and let them get reacclimated to gravity, because the guy hasn't had to use any of the muscles, you know what I mean? So apparently they try to keep in shape, but it's kind of impossible to do in a zero gravity environment. So it's going to take a while before he's up and walking and being able to go through his daily functions like a normal person. So anyway, kind of a big deal there. Also, he was the first astronaut of Salvadorian origin to travel to low Earth orbit. Another first, another notable first. Everybody has heard by now about this New Jersey Senator Bob Menendez, released today on a $100,000 personal recognizance bond after pleading not guilty. Senator and 4 co-defendants, including his wife. Not guilty, not guilty, not guilty, not guilty. Did you expect anything else? Menendez must surrender his personal passport and travel documents. The senator can keep his official passport, and foreign travel is still permitted while he's still a senator. The judge also ordered no contact with the other defendants. His wife going to be released on a $2,500 personal recognizance bond. She has been ordered to suspend her passport and limit her travel to specific parts of New York, New Jersey, D.C., and Florida. Much more to follow on the Bob Menendez. 5 years ago, he had a trial and he was acquitted. It was a hung jury kind of situation, and here we are back again. Colin Kaepernick, haven't had a chance to share that name in a while. Former NFL quarterback Colin Kaepernick has written a letter to the New York Jets. The Jets were going to go to the Super Bowl because they had Aaron Rodgers. And then he got hurt in the first series of his first game, out for the season. Colin Kaepernick is stepping up, sending a letter to the Jets, offering his services to the struggling team. In a letter released by the rapper J. Cole on Instagram, Kaepernick, who addresses Jets general manager Joe Douglas, said he would be honored to join the team and lead the practice squad with the sole mission of getting your defense ready each week. So interesting. We'll see what happens with that. Kaepernick hasn't played in the NFL, was blackballed by the NFL since 2016 after his refusal to stand for the national anthem ahead of games in his protest of police brutality and racial injustice. So he was using his celebrity to stand up against police brutality and racial injustice. Do you think we have any police brutality or racial injustice with us today? Yes, we do, and it seems to be increasing, not decreasing over time. So people didn't like it, but I hope enough time has transpired that these white people in charge of all this will give him a second look. I mean, the year before he was out of the picture, he was playing in the Super Bowl. The guy has mad skills, so let's get him back in there. Yesterday, a New York judge found the former president, Donald Trump, and his adult sons liable for fraud, canceled Trump's organization's businesses. Shocking ruling posed an existential threat to the former president's financial empire as he runs for a second term in the White House. The judge saying it was just laughable. He say in the defendant's world, rent-related apartments are worth the same as unregulated apartments. Restricted land is worth the same as unrestricted. Restrictions can evaporate into thin air. A disclaimer by one party casting responsibility on another party exonerates the other party's lies. The judge just went on and on and on. And in the end, he said, this is a fantasy world, not the real world that Trump was trying to defend himself by. $250 million lawsuit, this connected to with New York Attorney General Letitia James. Been going at this for 5 years, but she finally got it pulled down, nailed down. Okay, on to the national news. Just a couple of minutes left. The American soldier Travis King, a black man from Texas who fled across the border from South Korea to North Korea in July, is back in U.S. custody via China. So from North Korea to China to the U.S., North Korea decided to expel King, who, according to the state news agency KCNA, had confessed to entering the country illegally, releasing the results of an investigation at King's border crossing in July. They say that King harbored ill feelings over inhumane treatment and racial discrimination within the U.S. Army. So glad he's safe, glad he's back in American hands. We're going to hear a lot more about that story over time. And the last story we have for you is that Chinese government has said that recent drills near Taiwan were aimed at combating the arrogance of separatist forces after Taipei reported a rise in military activity in recent weeks, including exercises on land facing the island. So Taiwan, which China claims belongs to China, and Taipei, at the capital of Taiwan, obviously rejects that, has said this month that it has observed dozens of fighters, drones, bombers, and other aircraft, as well as warships, operating nearby. So it's getting to a point of high risk when you have that many military entities, in operating in such close proximity. That's when mistakes happen. That's when people reach the point of a hair trigger, and there's a risk of that getting out of hand. And so hopefully diplomacy can prevail and prevent us from getting into some type of a war over there. So we do have more stories I couldn't quite get to today due to time constraints, but I'll pick up with those on Friday at 12 noon when we see you then. Thank you so much for joining us at We Believe Digital. If we can help you with your podcast, your advertising, we're striving to become a real a Black-centric media platform here, full-scale media platform, and we need your help to do that. You can always talk to one of our producers at 1-800-492-5186. We'll have you come on over, take a tour of the studio, let you know what we have to offer. All kinds of camera, filming work, production work, and advertising. We Believe Digital has done advertising, commercials for political candidates, for business leaders. We'd be happy to help you out with that. The price is right, and give us a call. We'll help you out. Take good care. We'll see you Friday at noon.
Looking for the hottest content in the city of Jackson and surrounding areas? Check out WeBelieveDigital.com. Also follow us on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. We Believe Digital Podcast is here for all your podcasting needs.